Welcome to a brand new episode of Sequel Rights, the podcast where we can take a look at the franchises that make you go, they made how many of those? We give each and every sequel a fair trial. My name is Justin Camps, and I'm here with
Elizabeth Helly
and
Tyler Hymanson.
Oh, Tyler's back.
I'm back.
We're all back in person.
That's right. Back in person on the right mics, and everything sounds great.
Yay.
We hope you guys enjoyed our previous episode on the Naked Gun. Lots of laughs there, but we are back into the spooky, scary, devilish horror
Of Patrick Wilson singing. Nope.
of Patrick Wilson not singing.
Nope. There was Elvis, but not singing.
This week we're talking about The Conjuring. The White Lotus made me do it.
Piper, no. That's all I kept thinking the whole movie.
Piper, no.
Piper, no.
Oh man, I'm so glad to be back into the Conjuring universe as we work our way towards The Conjuring Last Rites coming out pretty soon here. But before we get too far into things, Eliz, where can people reach out?
Send us your emails to sequelrights@gmail.com or find us on Instagram, Blue Sky, Facebook, and YouTube at Sequel Rights.
And rate and review wherever you're listening. 5 stars helps other people find the show. If you've already done that, go out and share some of your favorite episodes that you have seen. We could probably use a signal boost on some of our Mortal Kombat coverage. Maybe you haven't watched those animated movies. You're going to need to know what happens before Mortal Kombat 2, which is on the horizon.
I totally forgot to mention this when we were doing Naked Gun, but I saw the Mortal Kombat trailer before Naked Gun. My friend knew nothing about it, and I was like, oh my God! Oh my gosh! I was like, he's on the thing! Yeah! Like, I was like so excited.
It's going to be great.
It looks sick.
It looks great. It does look great.
That's a check-in coming up soon.
Yeah.
Here on the podcast. And I gotta say too, we have a very exciting special guest for you this week. We got a chance to interview editor of the film The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. Peter Gvozdas is here with us in a special interview this episode. Partway through the episode, we'll cut to it. So don't miss that. It was such a pleasure to have him back on the podcast.
Yeah, he was like probably one of our very early guests who actually worked on the film that we were talking to them about.
Yeah, he worked on The Purge, and that was episode 44 back in 2000.
Oh my
Wow,
gosh.
that's crazy.
Yeah, so
Another great episode to go back and listen to. It's a great interview.
yeah, don't miss his interview here coming up in a few. Now, I don't know if this will become like a regular thing or not, but I feel like there's always lately, this year especially, I don't know why, there's been so much insane like sequel news around like movies that we have
It might just be that now our list is so long that everything that comes out, turns out we've covered it.
Right, the amount of franchises we've got to, but
Yeah.
one of them I just had to mention because I feel like it trumps everything that we talked about recently. You know, we did talk through the, what was it, 14?
We
14.
thought we were out.
So that's why this is crazy too.
And they drag us back in.
We talked through 14 Air Bud movies.
And Buddies
you
and
guys.
Santa Paws.
And just a couple weeks ago, out of fucking nowhere, one of my friends posted in our group chat that Air Bud Returns is a movie that's happening in 2026 and is coming to theaters.
Theaters.
It's coming
But
to
it's
theaters.
it's not related to Disney, right? It's just Robert Vince
Robert
doing this
Vince
on his
is
own.
back.
I mean, I gotta say, I
Somehow-
would probably be more exciting if somebody new was taking the reins.
Yeah, I
but you
agree.
know, I don't know.
Somehow Robert Vince returned.
Do you think he just saw like the Sound of Freedom?
Oh no! He's like, we can do it.
We can do it. We can do it there, bud. Pre-sell the tickets.
I'm not going to read the full synopsis because there is a synopsis out for Air Bud Returns. That's the name of the film at the moment. But suffice to say, it's a little bit meta. There's a new kid that discovers a VHS tape of the original Air Bud movie that his father.
I mean, I like that idea because that's funny.
Yeah.
So
wait, the Air Bud movie exists as a movie.
Apparently,
in the universe of this new movie,
things are getting
that to me is fun.
Things are getting nutty. On top of this, they haven't announced any of the cast, but one thing they did announce is that they are doing a nationwide search for Air Bud himself. So basically, this is crazy, I think. So basically anyone who has a golden retriever that can do some tricks or whatever can film a video and send it in and potentially have their dog be the
that's cool. I'm happy they're even using a dog at all.
Yeah.
Because the last
That's
8
true.
movies that we watched were completely CGI.
It feels like a publicity stunt so that when they're like,
Right.
no, they got a real dog, and then it's all going to be CG.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Wait,
is.
didn't they do this with Benji too? But they always do a shelter dog for
Yeah.
Benji.
Yeah.
But yeah, Airbud.
It's just, it is weird that like they would potentially just use like some random person's dog and not have like, a stunt dog trainer that has a dog ready to go.
I mean, they're also gonna do that.
You're
Yeah.
right. There's going to be one dog that's like, this is the dog that won the competition and is in all the photos, but like these are the real dogs. Doing
It's going to be like one cut of this dog. Arf.
Yeah, maybe. I just think that's so funny. Anyways, you guys, next year, mark your calendars, summer 2026.
We
Airbud
do it.
returns.
We do it for you.
And the
audience.
fact that it's getting a 15th entry means that it will officially slap down The Land Before Time to be
Yes.
the
That's
longest series we've ever done. So Land Before Time, where are you?
Yeah, where'd you
Where
go?
are you?
Where'd you go?
Come back.
It's because there's no Land Before Time entertainment that's just waiting to do another.
I mean, yeah, what was it? Universal Animation or
Yeah.
whatever? Oh, yeah, the little plane. Remember that?
right.
God. Yeah, okay, Universal Animation, get on it.
I mean,
Get
Airbud
on it.
Entertainment.
Get that Chris Melandandri to take it over, just like he rebooted everything else.
Yeah, we talked Airbud Entertainment diversified into monkey movies and all sorts of crazy
I
crap.
know. Yeah, Land Before Time. Those people. Yeah, they need to get. They need to make.
And they get their little.
They haven't
feet
made a
into gear.
dinosaur movie, right? Anyone Illumination or Universal? Yeah,
Not yet.
Not.
There is like
this era.
I've been getting fed some Instagram posts of a fan made like remake short film of like the original movie. Looks like it could be good. It's like CG animation.
All right. Well,
We'll see
what
how,
happens.
I'm gonna keep my eye.
I
on
wonder
that.
if they can push one out before the Airbud even comes out. That'd be sick.
Oh, they could have back in the
Yeah.
day. Nowadays, everything takes
I
forever.
know.
But you never know. All right, so that's our little sequel news. So let's get back to The Conjuring. There's also been freaking insane news
Yes.
with
Conjuring news.
Conjuring universe related news.
Annabelle killed a guy.
If I were the
Annabelle killed a
the
guy.
Warner Brothers marketing people are probably like, yes, we didn't even like this is free advertising for the next movie.
I think we have mentioned in one of our previous episodes that Annabelle has been going on like this nationwide tour.
Annabelle World Tour, just like the Trolls.
Yeah. Going on a tour. The real Raggedy Ann Annabelle doll has been going on a tour. People can go and be like, oh my God, there she is. Wow. And apparently, Dan Rivera, who is 54 and a paranormal investigator, died the day after hosting a tour of, hosting the doll on one of these tour dates, and just died suddenly. And like, obviously, I don't think there's really any connection, but it's just really,
Yeah, you do. They found a little note in his pocket that said, "Miss me?"
And there was a sewing machine mysteriously running.
Yeah.
I mean, it is pretty crazy, and it was also in Gettysburg, so that's another famously haunted city.
Yes.
So, lots of stuff could have gone down there. He probably just unfortunately passed away, but there has been some pushback from other ghost hunters saying like they should never have like put those two things together. Like families shouldn't be seeing all this stuff about like Annabelle killed him, blah, blah, blah. It was just a tragic death, whatever. But that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Annabelle Civil War.
So that, yeah, right. Annabelle Civil War.
Oh my God.
So that happened, and like I think literally like it's been like a train of like Annabelle's on a world
There
tour.
was the world tour. She went
Annabelle-
missing for a day.
Yeah.
They said, yeah.
Like she disappeared. Annabelle killed someone, and then like a week later, I saw on Deadline an article: Matt Rife and Elton Casti buy Ed and Lorraine Warren's home, complete with Annabelle doll. Which is like, I was like, what the fuck? Okay, like, and it turns out that not only do they bought the Ed and Lorraine's home complete with the occult museum. They also are going to be the legal guardians for at least the next 5 years of the entire haunted collection, including the Annabelle doll. And this is Matt Rife, who you may or may not know is a comedian, 29-year-old comedian who's got some, he's on Wild 'N Out, and he's got some Netflix specials, and he's kind of in some hot water about some of the things he said in the past, and a new Elf Cosmetics ad that's been out. So, things aren't looking great for him. But I just am like, how did this happen?
I didn't even know it was for sale. Like, I feel like somebody better could have got the money together.
I was going to say, I don't know anything about this gentleman, but 29-year-old comedian, that just tells me this is the wrong person.
And Warner Brothers is probably pissed. Zaslav's like, I would have bought it. What the hell? Like,
the other person
James
is a TikTok ghost hunter.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
No, it's like Judy Warren and her husband owned everything and ran the museum. I think I talked about this guy last time we did this. He was the head of NESPR or whatever, New England Society. And so I guess he must have decided to sell it, I guess. But yeah, that sucks.
It says in the article that they note that they plan to open the house for overnight stays and museum tours so you yourself can experience and learn all the haunted history surrounding this amazing place.
I would not do it. I don't even care about it's just not worth it.
And it's because it says the announcement comes after Annabelle's previous guardian, Dan Rivera, died of natural causes last month. So that guy died. Annabelle killed that guy, and then these guys took over the rights.
Oh, okay. So he was the one.
He was the
managing
one hosting
the tour.
Yeah, he was like hosting the tour.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Huh.
So I just don't think those guys. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't.
I wonder if the house really looks.
I don't know them personally, but I would.
The one in the movie, because I feel like it's very. The house is very iconic to me now, like the geography of it.
There's
and the
no
design.
way it's the same as the.
Because this film went like immediately when they got back to the house, I was like, oh, that's their house, because like that thing above the stairs, that weird like accent wall, and like yeah.
Oh
well.
Well, there you go. That's our crazy Annabelle Conjuring news for the month. Let's see
what Annabelle does next month.
That's right.
Hey.
See what happens. Now they're going to start letting random people in there, and they're all going to start dying the next day. I don't know.
It's such a bad idea.
Yeah, it seems crazy because I don't know. This stuff seems potentially real.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's just like, do I believe in it 100%? No. Do I want to tempt it if I don't have to? Also, no.
Yeah, totally. All right. Well, I think it's time that we dive into the third Conjuring film. It's great to be back. The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It.
Hey. You okay there? Jesus. I think I hurt someone.
This is Ed Warren, here with Lorraine. All right, let's get started.
Residents of Brookfield were shocked this afternoon by the broad daylight murder of Bruno Sauls.
The court accepts the existence of God every time a witness swears to tell the truth. I think it's about time they accept the existence of the devil.
Whatever is going on, whatever happened that day, that was not Arnie.
It's a witch's totem. We think your family was cursed. And that connection's still open.
Okay, the silent moment in that one was not as long as the previous movies.
Witch's totem.
Witch's totem.
Yeah, I mean, talk about how you watch this movie. I just watched it at my house on my crappy TV on HBO Max.
Oh, well, yeah, I was going to say this
Was that
movie,
the only way to watch it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and now this movie famously came out in 2021 and is part of the infamous, HBO Max release schedule where it was like, post-pandemic or during the pandemic, things were released from Warner Brothers on HBO Max and in theaters same day. I thought I had watched it at home, but I just looked right now to my emails, and I do have a Entourage order for seeing
then maybe
it in
I
theaters.
did go.
So I think I did see it in theaters. I just
my God.
don't recall.
I don't recall either. I thought I watched it at home by
apparently
myself.
I saw it on
I think I watched it at home.
June 16th at 7:20 p.m.
2021, June
Yeah.
16th?
June 16th, 2021.
Oh, man.
At the Burbank 16.
Wow, I don't know. I feel like we only got the vaccination in like May, right?
We were masking up and doing movies. I just don't know if
I can't remember
went to that
anything.
one.
It's all
Yeah.
crunched together in time.
But it seems like I went to go see it. So there you go.
Yeah. So they were doing both by then. It wasn't like Wonder Woman or whatever, the earlier ones that people were really mad about.
I think it was just day and date theaters and HBO Max.
Yeah. So as a result, yeah, I don't think it really had the impact that the others had, but it's also a much different movie.
It definitely has the lowest box office, I think.
Sure.
Because of that, not entirely the film's fault. But I things from the pandemic are such a blur, in that time frame. I had remembered not enjoying it as much, but I feel like watching it now a second time, because I hadn't revisited it since I saw it in theaters, I feel like I liked it a little bit better.
Yeah.
But there's still I think there's still some issues that we can get into. But I
think the elephant in the room is that this is the first Conjuring Prime movie that is not directed by James Wan.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
And that is noticeable.
Yes. I mean, he was around.
He was around.
He wrote
Michael
it.
Shavs
He
is
oversaw.
directing here.
So, yeah, I guess we can talk a little bit, too, about The Curse of La Llorona, which I think you and I, Justin, went to go see by ourselves or something. I don't know. I have the memory
Yeah,
of
we
this.
went to go see it, yeah.
Yeah. Not very great. And so much so that they actually erased it from the official canon of the Conjuring universe. It had that priest from Annabelle. It was supposed to be connected, and then they were just like, never mind. But they like this director enough, and James Wan enjoyed working with him enough to bring him now into The Conjuring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean, and Michael Shavs, he sticks around. He continues on to direct The Nun 2, which we're going to talk about next, and The Conjuring Last Rites. So we've got, more of his work coming up. But yeah, we're back to the mainline Conjuring after a long time. We got a little tease of it with Annabelle Comes Home. Now we got a full-throated Ed and Lorraine story. And yet again, another film where he doesn't sing.
He does not sing.
They play Elvis and everything.
I know.
And they just can't get him singing.
Nope.
Yeah, I have thoughts about why I think that this is a little bit less of a Conjuring experience for me, but I think we will get into it. I think that it is. We'll get into it in more detail as we. I don't want to spoil the whole movie.
Yeah, whatever. We always do.
Yeah.
So yeah, it starts pretty quickly with the exorcism, right?
Yeah.
Of David.
Yeah, so we're now in 1981 in this one, and we dive right into a scene that most of the Conjuring movies would end with, and it's basically starting with it, which I think is an interesting choice.
Yeah, and it's so funny. I was super happy to see Drew, their Asian assistant that they've had this entire time. He was there, and then the same old priest was there. That guy who always is telling them I don't know, you gotta ask the church.
We gotta wait a little bit, and he's like, no, we gotta do it right now.
Yeah, and he was there, and I told one of my roommates was in the room, and I was like, this priest sucks. He always fails, and something happens to him, and he can't do it, and then Patrick Wilson has to do the exorcism, and then immediately after I said that, he gets hit in the head with a dish, and is knocked out, and then they're like, Ed, you gotta do the exorcism, and I'm like,
Of course.
which, I have seen this movie before, but I did not remember that detail. I was just like, this guy always, something happens to him, and then Ed has to do all the work.
Pastor Bumble over here.
Yeah.
Yep. Father Gordon or whatever. Yeah. This is a pretty wild sequence, I think.
It's
super
cool.
chaotic.
It's very gross and visceral to see the contortions of the boy.
And we can our interview that we have coming up with Peter, he talks a little bit about that. It's just a really, it's a pretty good exorcism scene. It kicks off the movie in a strong way, and I do like the shot of Father Gordon arriving and the little exorcist shot there.
Yes.
You just got to do it. It's fun. And so basically David is not having it. he goes and tries to kill Ed like everyone always does.
So that Lorraine can freak out.
He's like, I'll stop your heart, old man.
So that's pretty crazy. He does give him a real heart attack.
Yeah.
A convenient, plot-driven heart attack. Yeah.
But then, is it Arn or Arnie?
Arnie,
Arnie.
I think.
Arnie. Okay, so then the boyfriend of Piper so Sarah Catherine Hook, Piper from White Lotus, she's like the female lead, I guess, of this movie, sort of. I don't know.
Other than Lorraine.
She's the girlfriend. Yeah. So it's her little brother, and then this guy's like her longtime boyfriend, fiance, and he has a nice relationship with David or whatever, and he decides, this is so stupid. Anyone who's ever watched a single movie knows you don't do this. He's like, take me instead, leave him alone. And Ed and Lorraine are like, don't talk to it.
Shut up.
They tell him multiple times not to do it. He does it anyway. And Ed sees this, but is incapacitated by the heart attack, so he can't tell anybody.
Mm-hmm. And he's incapacitated for so long that it's like basically too late by the time he's able to wake up and be like, Arnie, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of... So this is also one where more of this is just made up shit than ever before for The Conjuring. Like the two previous families, like even though they obviously like built everything up, like it was pretty similar to like what actually happened. At least the circumstances, the location. This murder of Arnie to this guy actually happened. But all the stuff that Lorraine and Ed are doing after the murder, before the trial, is just complete bullshit, totally made up.
Yep.
And so it's kind of interesting. I mean, I think it is a very different movie too, because it's not all about like, we're in this house and the thing is attached to the house somehow. No, it's not. It's attached to the person, blah, blah, blah. They're like going all over the tri-state area, like trying to figure stuff out.
And I think that is the thing that makes it very different than any other Conjuring movie, is that there's an actual antagonist, and it's not a spiritual antagonist.
Yeah.
It is a person.
Yeah.
And I think that there's an X-Files procedural thing of bringing the courts are involved, and there's jails, and it has this kind of could have been very interesting. I feel like, but there's a lot of elements that take us out of that in ways that I feel like that don't quite click together.
I did kind of like the like detective-y part where they were kind of like going around and she was fucking with the detective and like and the police and being like, you think I don't know everything? Well, watch this, that kind of stuff. That stuff was fun to me, but yeah, it's just like very weird.
Yeah, this movie, the structure of it, I think is a little not odd, but it's just like, we're, like you said, we've been used to everyone kind of like all being focused on one location,
one kid, one house.
Everything's happening in that one place. There's a lot of different places within that house where you're seeing everything's really well mapped out. This one, it's like everyone's separate the whole movie, pretty much. People are all, it feels like everyone has,
I wonder why,
different goals. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it's very much like, in real life, this happened over like, a couple of months, I think, or just a longer period of time. Where in this one, like Ed can't be incapacitated for more than, a couple days, right? At most. But in real life, like, after the exorcism, they were kind of like they moved out of the mom's house into the place, like another place. And then she was working at the kennel. He was working somewhere else. Like weeks went by, it wasn't like this instant thing like that. So
yeah, and I feel like I really like the idea of them having like an ultimate like antagonist who's like the full opposite of everything.
The Cult of the Ram.
Yeah, the Cult of the Ram, which is brought back from Annabelle,
that's
which
what
is cool.
Too, it's the same.
It's the same one that
it is the same.
that Annabelle was a part of. And I like the idea of them interacting with someone who basically was doing the same thing as them, but things went in a different direction for John Noble's character. Like,
yeah, Boromir would have done it.
Yeah, exactly. and then that ultimately there's like, Ed and Lorraine that are on like the ultimate side of good, and then we've got this Eastless Satanist lady who's on the ultimate side of evil. But I feel like she is fully revealed so late that you don't
Yeah,
really
it's
get
too
to
late.
Yeah.
you don't get to have this like cat and mouse, like, oh, I'm the exact opposite and can match your powers and my powers and blah blah blah. That stuff doesn't all happens too late, I feel, and it.
Yeah, the reveal doesn't really work. Like John Noble, I mean, Walternate, you're always gonna kind of question him.
Yes, the
out the
second
gate.
he shows up, I'm like,
You're
that guy's bad.
Yeah.
Even though he's ultimately
actually not bad.
He's
Yeah.
not, but he's involved.
They make it
in,
seem, yeah.
in it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe part of the problem is that they did have to make him like this priest character. Why didn't they just make him like some guy, some paranormal expert that they had worked with in the past, and then like, oh, what happened to your daughter? You know, like something like that. It would have made a lot more sense, but because they have to keep it a secret that he, you know, fornicated as a priest and got a lady pregnant, then they're kind of like, you know, secret daughter.
Yeah. I just like that he was basically doing the same thing as Ed and Lorraine and like keeping all these artifacts from the people that the Satanists that he interviewed and all this stuff, and that it ultimately went bad for him. Whereas with Ed and Lorraine, they've somehow been able to like keep it at bay. And
and Judy
by the thanks of some incredible babysitting.
Yeah,
yeah, those babysitters, thank God.
Well, and they have the priest come and bless it every day or whatever.
Yeah,
that's all he does.
That guy sucks. Okay, that phrase sucks. I stick by that take.
Yeah. All right, so what else happens here?
Arnie kills a guy in kind of a, you know, another fun sequence with some Blondie music going on. Yeah.
It sucks. You do actually feel kind of bad for him. I think the actor like did a good job.
Yeah.
Like the way it was edited together, really, like you could tell that he like he was not in his right mind. Like, and really just couldn't, you know, tell what was reality.
And I think it's actually a really good an interesting murder sequence from a movie of where you kind of know that there's like this other force kind of driving it, and we have that, and it does frame violence in a way that I think is interesting and maybe unique in this franchise, and maybe in movies in general in 2021. So I think that there was something. This is one of the better sequences in the movie to me.
Yeah, it's like interesting. Like obviously in the movie, he's like possessed by something, but you could also read it as like a mental health situation. Or something.
Yeah, or like some guy was like handsy with his girlfriend.
Yeah, he was drunk, or you know,
well, that's sort of what ends up being the real life thing, is that everyone says he was drunk or whatever. But who knows?
With the devil's juice.
Yeah. One thing I thought was interesting, to compare it to real life. In real life, the guy's name was Bono, and in this movie, they just changed his name to Bruno. I guess maybe because they don't want to deal with like
you too,
Sonny and Cher and Bono and
Bono,
Chaz
Bono,
and you know, they were like, just change it to Bruno, you know, like
and no one talks.
Let Sacha Baron Cohen come from us.
I know. So that was interesting. But yeah, by the way, if you care about the real life thing, there is a recent, very thorough documentary on Netflix that I watched about half of before realizing, oh wait, that was from The Conjuring, because my roommate was like watching it, and so I was sort of in and out, like doing laundry or something, and then I was like,
and you're like, where's the devil getting involved in this one?
So. I do like that at the end of the movie, they're like, and we proved 100% that it was demonic possession, and then it's like, he was convicted for manslaughter, and nothing worked. And,
but manslaughter is very different than murder.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
he didn't get the death penalty. Like
no. But even the stuff about him, you know, this side by side exorcism taking place in different places, and the girlfriend and the suicide watch and all that stuff is like totally made up. I mean, maybe he was on suicide watch, but there was not a whole nother exorcism on him or whatever.
Right, and
that happened. A remote exorcism for the pandemic.
There's so much in this movie that I was like, did they really end up saying it was like a Satanist doing this? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of like the beginning, point where they exorcise David, and then the murder, and then fake, and then the trial at the end is real. Yeah. Oh, so when after the murder, they're trying to get a lawyer to defend him. This was so funny to me because I was like, oh my God, they're not going to do the like comedy cut of this, are they? And then they totally do it because this lawyer's like, I don't believe this, blah, blah, blah. And Ed and Lorraine are like, how about you come to our house and then decide if you want to.
Yeah, he's like, we'll introduce you to Annabelle.
And I thought for sure that he was going to say everything in this room has been blah, blah, blah. You know, the same speech he does every movie. But instead they just immediately cut to the courtroom and her looking all like frazzled and like, hello, Your Honor.
Yeah,
Like,
what do you think even happened? Because like nothing is
so
nothing
funny.
Nothing is supposed to happen when you go in that room, right?
Yeah, no.
So you think she was just creeped out by everything and was
I
like,
mean, yeah.
She saw on TV
something
where
must have
there was a
happened.
thing happening moments after the TV.
Yeah.
the samurai armor? Like,
Oh,
looked at her
yeah.
or
Just looked
something?
at her funny. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
That painting of the nun alone might make you fucking stupid
So wait,
painting. he
you
did.
painted this?
Yeah. Wait, you wanted this painting?
yeah, and you kept it. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I know. It was funny that she's just like so scared. We do get. We said Judy's back, right? We see her, but she's not McKenna Grace anymore.
No, she's not McKenna Grace because that movie took place earlier than her age would be right now.
So she
She's
looks
busting
totally
ghosts.
different.
So yeah, I mean, let's just do the child star check-in now.
Let's do it.
Child star check, child star checking in, child star check-in. They're a child star, and we're checking in now.
So there's really only two child stars that I want to check in on today. But the first is Julian Hilliard, who was David. And he's so tiny and small. And this poor kid is just, especially when he did the scene in the shower with the blood coming out. I was like, what was this like for the real kid? Like, come on. I'm getting real like Nathan Fielder thinking about this. I was like, really? You showered him in blood and he had to scream it like that.
He was like, it's Kool-Aid. It's
I
totally
guess, but then why would you scream?
Yeah.
You know, like, so anyways, he's a great actor. So, this kid, most famously is Billy Maximoff. I didn't really recognize him with the giant glasses that he has in this movie, but he's little Billy in WandaVision and Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Of course, he is then recast. Well, I guess that's a spoiler for another show.
some other.
Yeah.
Some other.
Oh, God, my bad. Yeah.
Whatever.
So, anyways, and he's also in The Haunting of Hill House, and
Hill House.
oh, he's also in a movie that I still think about all the time because it cannot leave my mind. Is Color Out of Space.
Oh yeah,
He was a little brother in that, and that is horrifying. So I guess maybe he was like, I can do anything after that. Blood in the shower? Who gives a crap?
No
At least
big
I'm
deal.
not being like Lovecraftian merged into another person.
Listen,
Like ugh.
in the attic.
I'll lay down on a haunted waterbed. Who
Oh my
cares?
God, yeah. I still like that movie still freaks me out so much. I'll just think about like some scene of it and be like, oh, Lovecraft. Okay. Anyway. And then, like you mentioned, Sterling Jarrens, who we've seen growing up all the way from like the very, very first one. She was like a little girl. Grandma was watching her. And then, yes, she was recast for that Annabelle movie with McKenna Grace. She comes back for this, but is really only like one scene. She wasn't even there later when they come home and Piper and Shannon Kook, Drew are there. She's
only
even
in
there.
the hospital that one time.
Yeah, she's in the hospital, and then she's like in the beginning or whatever. So yeah, it's like kind of a bummer, and even more of a bummer is that she will now be recast again, and they are getting a complete. Even though she would be the right age now, they're getting a completely different girl for Conjuring Last Rites. So I don't know what that means. If that's a good thing or a bad thing, or maybe it's just no one cared or what, but we'll see why that happened, I guess. She's in a few other things, but Conjuring really is like her biggest thing. She was in World War Z, back in the day, but that was before this one anyway.
Damon Lindelof's World War Z?
Partially Damon Lindelof.
Script doctor Damon Lindelof?
Yeah.
I think she was the girl with the Chekhov's inhaler, which is where I came up with that phrase, was after watching World War Z. In this one, we have Chekhov's heart pills,
Yeah.
which are our favorite in soap operas usually.
Yes.
Like the vengeful wife will hold the heart pills as the husband's
Yes.
like,
I was like, can we stop having demons trying to kill Ed Warren here?
No, we cannot. Anyways, so that's the end of the child star check-in. I give Sterling Jarens more work, people.
Is that the thing that sets the Conjuring movies apart? Is that we get to have Patrick Wilson just be a damsel the entire time?
And it's always Lorraine saving his ass. He does save her during the
he stops her from falling
off the
does.
cliff,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
I was a pretty scary scene also, by the way. But yeah, it's always, in the end, the final thing is always Lorraine having to bring Ed back or stop him from killing her. Or,
Himbo in distress, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
And what a himbo.
We'll see what happens in the new one. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to be on the brink of death again.
My pills.
Oh, my God. I forgot them. The EMT's like, you better not forget those pills again.
Well, I mean, she had one in the locket.
In the
Because she's Lorraine.
Oh, yeah, you know what? We didn't talk about the flashback in this one.
Oh, yeah. We get a flashback to
How they met
a little bit more of their story.
Gazebo.
at the movies.
We all love the movies.
And a magical love gazebo.
Yeah, you gotta have one of those. You know, the universal backlot, probably. The gazebo in the middle of that lawn, and then also the courthouse later. That is not the same place, I'm sure. Yeah, it's interesting how he does. He's just like so dumb sometimes.
Classic himbo.
And then basically the enemy for him in this movie is like having to run. Like, there's so many times then later. I mean, at the end, he ends up getting this, they call him the linebacker adversary, but most of the movie, he just gets fucked up because everyone starts running forward and Lorraine is like in a thing and Vision is just running and he's got this cane and he's like,
As a lifelong asthmatic, I feel this.
yeah.
Just gotta dive out of the way of that.
People keep
giant
telling him
corpse.
like, "Hey, maybe you shouldn't be doing this." Like, no, I'm fine. Like,
I've got a cane.
yeah,
He's in a wheelchair for a little bit too.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, they were trying to aggressively kill him last time too. Now he's trying to get killed again.
Yeah.
They're gonna go to that well a third time in the next one.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
look,
and
I'll
it's-
always care about Patrick Wilson dying.
Of course. And it's always funny because obviously Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson are just so like so many millions times more hot than the real Warrens were that they usually don't even bother to really style them like the Warrens did. They don't even bother. They don't even try to make him gain a little pudgy tummy, or they don't even try to make her, you know, she sometimes wears the like grandma outfits that Lorraine would like
with
wear.
the brooch and stuff.
Yeah, with a big old brooch. But she just, in the beginning of the movie, in The Exorcism, they do finally do like a little nod to the real Lorraine's hair because they put Vera Farmiga's hair like up in this big floofy thing, and that's how like Lorraine always wore her hair. But then they just dispose of that and like, let's make her look hot again, you know? Like,
It's what the people want.
yeah.
The devil made them do it.
Yes. Yeah. So, okay. So this murder's happened now. They want to defend this guy.
Yeah, and you know, basically they need to start to figure out some evidence. They find this crazy witch totem underneath David's bedroom with the waterbed, like we were talking about. Did you guys know anybody with a waterbed?
I did. I was talking about this actually because my aunt and uncle had a waterbed, and so basically anytime the family gathered there, all the kids would go be like, "Whoa, waterbed!" Yeah, but
It was only neighbors.
Yeah. I knew one kid with a waterbed.
yeah.
Just seemed like a disaster.
What a trend.
A
Yeah,
disaster
I don't-
waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Because you kind of think like, oh, how come we don't do that anymore? Like, because it was a horrible idea, like,
Yeah.
and a huge mess.
Terrible, and probably not even that comfortable.
Apparently, some people are still like, I would look this up. It's like they'll still make them, and people like will be like, no, it's the most comfortable bed I've ever had. So they have to like find them out against regulation.
You have to make an illegal
Yeah, you have to get
waterbed.
illegal
Where can I
waterbed.
get that black market waterbed?
Oh my god.
Because it's like, I think that most rental agreements are like absolutely not.
No waterbeds.
Yeah.
Yeah, no way.
That's not like anybody
that's
here
hilarious.
owns.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the real horror.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, so they start to try to figure out, like, what the heck. So, because there's this whole situation where, like, okay, if Arnie was possessed, he wouldn't be able to read these lines from the Bible like he's doing in prison. So something else is going on here. And they determine that, like some sort of Satanist or something is behind this.
Witch's totem.
Yeah.
And then, Father Useless is like, hey, remember the other guy that you worked with that one time that we never talked about,
He's
but
familiar
happened
with
a
the
long time
territory.
ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. That would have been hilarious if it was Damien Bashir. Oh, my God.
Father Kastner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to go talk to him. And he's super cool. He says stuff like this.
I have chicken shit on my hands.
Yeah, that's an important moment.
He's, yeah. He dumps a whole bunch of exposition on them, as one does.
Yeah, like we talked about, he's got his own haunted room of Satanist artifacts and all this stuff, and he's super creepy. Lives in a mill, out in the middle of nowhere.
I do feel like that this is the part of the movie where it becomes, as the mysteries unravel, it becomes less interesting to me. Every reveal that happens, I'm like, well, okay.
Well, it's like we said. I think the second you meet John Noble, you're like, what? Something's up with this guy. I doubt he's gonna be only in this scene.
Yeah.
And why would you cast amazing John Noble and not have him be some sort of creepy bad guy or something? Yeah. I think that's part of the problem.
Severance, he was in it.
Yeah,
That's the main thing I recognize him from. I know, obviously, he's in Lord of the Rings, but
Lord of the Rings and
Severance is so recent.
LA Noire video game.
Yeah.
He has such a distinct voice and way of speaking.
Yeah, I think he's great.
Yeah,
and he's good in this too, and then, as a kind of ultimately kind of a tragic character. But, I think this might be a good place to maybe throw to our interview with Peter Gvozdas, editor on this film. Why don't you guys take a listen to that right now? All right, I am here with a very special guest. Pete Gvozdas is here with us, editor. You may remember him from our episode on The Purge back in 2018, only episode 44. So, Pete, thanks so much for being here with us and returning to the podcast for the first time in a while.
No, thank you guys. It's really cool to be back, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. So, Pete, we have you on today because we are talking about The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, and you were one of the editors on that film. And so, how did you join this film? What was it like coming into a project that was on a third sequel now and kind of already has like a bit of an established momentum and visual language? What was that like?
No, it was really exciting. I worked with the director, Michael Chaves, on his Curse of La Llorona film.
Yeah.
And I remember we were shooting ADR one afternoon and we took a lunch break and he got a call from James Wan, and James spoke and he said, dude, we got to do this. We're doing Conjuring. And thank goodness our schedules stayed together, because sometimes you get out of sync with people and it's unfortunate, but they stayed together, and I was off to Atlanta, and that's where we shot the film. And it was fun to be part of such a cool franchise. I remember day one going to the relic room on set and it feels very real. I know but just to see all those little pieces and all these little objects, and it was really wild. And like see the actual Annabelle doll, that was kind of spooky.
Oh man, that's great. Yeah, I love the relic room is such an iconic thing at this point. It's like they get to feature it in every film, and I love like in this one we get to see him add the goblet from the altar to the relic room, and that's so cool that you got to go in there. I know obviously it's fake, but I still got to get some creepy vibes from that for sure.
Right before they shot, they brought a priest and a couple other members of the Catholic Church to the set, and they gave a blessing, and they passed out business cards, and they said, here's the deal, guys. This stuff is real. And if you experience anything on set, if you experience anything strange at home or in a work office, do not be embarrassed. You call us personally. We will help you through this. And that was kind of eerie, like to have that happen.
Did you ever have to call them?
No, luckily I didn't experience anything, but you always are like, these, like you work late or you get home late and you're like, is there something in the shadows? This is kind of eerie.
Oh my God. I'm sure, yeah, those scenes a lot of those scenes are so creepy, and to be like working on that in a dark room or something. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, you might actually get like harassed or terrorized by something in your own life just by being a part of this.
Do you know
okay.
Do you know if anyone on set experienced anything on this movie, or?
No, I didn't hear of anyone having any issues, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone.
Yeah, seriously.
Because if it turns out like anything in the film, no thanks.
I know. I'm glad that's the case, actually. Yeah. I think that's one of the most terrifying things of this movie, that everything is, based on a real story, and they have all those audio clips and everything at the end of the film that's like, this is what really happened. Yeah. Very creepy.
Yeah, that stuff's disturbing, like when they have those real audio clips. A friend of mine worked on the film. It's the something of Emily Rose. I can't remember.
Oh yeah, The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Exorcism of Emily Rose, and the family provided the sound team the actual tapes. They said, in case you need to recreate this for the film, you should know what this stuff sounds like for real. And he said he listened to it for maybe 3 minutes and said it was so disturbing. He was like, I don't want to hear this anymore. We're just going to invent it ourselves because I can't do this.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's terrifying. That's terrifying. My wife won't even watch these movies with me because she's like hardcore believes in all that stuff. And so she's like, even watching these movies is bringing bad vibes into the house. She won't do it.
Oh yeah.
So one thing I wanted to talk to you about, like this movie especially, deals a lot with, changes, in a lot of the scenes. It's like, what's really happening? There's lots of like futzing with reality and people seeing things that aren't there, and lots of really cool, like match cuts with what's going on in the real world and what's happening in like this kind of possessed state or whatever. I was like curious, what was it like editing together those sequences and trying to match everything?
It was really fun, and Michael did a great job of thinking that through ahead of time. So you're almost like shooting things twice, and you are putting the cameras in the same positions, whether it's nighttime, daytime, the lighting. And so like he set it up from the start where it was pretty clear, this is how this is going to go together. But it still, as you build it, it becomes the challenge of how do you keep it thrilling? How do you keep it interesting? Do you have to, is it still maybe too long or too short? And those become the editorial storytelling challenges, but at least he set it up very, very well from the start. And those sequences are really fun. And just kind of the choices of when do you stay in the nightmare? When do you reveal the real world? And how do you take the audience along on that ride? Some of that's just trial and error, and just kind of just working it.
Yeah. That's great. I love to hear that. It's, that's the mark of a great director, that's thinking about all that stuff ahead of time and trying to help make your job easier once you get into cutting everything together. That's awesome. One of the things,
he's really thorough.
Excuse me. Sorry.
He thinks about how he's shooting it. He really thinks about the transitions between scenes. How do we want to end and get to the next piece? And he's really good with that stuff.
That's great. Another thing I love about this movie is, even from the opening sequence, like it's just, there's so many scenes that are just like pure chaos. Lots of things going on, people getting thrown around, stuff exploding, people floating, it's like, there's always in all these sequences, just like a lot going on. What do you find, throughout the film, what was like the toughest sequence for you guys to really nail, when you were, editing things together in post?
Yeah, the opening sequence was probably the most fun and still challenging because it's like a big open. The other Conjurings had basically ended kind of on getting the demon out, exorcising the demon, and this one was starting the film that way. And we were trying to tell you, like, this is not the same story. We're not doing the same thing. And just building that, having this kid on a table, and using a real contortionist to do all the body bending, all of that is real. Like all we did in visual effects is replace the face of this contortionist, but they did all those crazy bends. It's pretty wild to see that on set, and just how quickly they could do it in like the snap of a finger. They could just lay on their back and then quickly turn into a pretzel. And sometimes we'd say, "Oh, it's just too fast." It looked unbelievable. Like, do it a little slower for us, and that was really cool.
That's horrifying. I mean, to know that was someone really doing that, because it's just like it looks like impossibly painful. It's a great effect.
Yeah, they didn't suffer at all. Like they're like, "Oh, I'll do this for hours. I don't care."
I love having my head like facing totally the wrong way underneath my back. No problem.
Yeah. I mean, it was just like, whoa. Like a human body's not supposed to move like this. And they're like, no, yeah, mine can. It's okay.
That's so crazy. I love it. Another thing that you worked on one of my favorite horror movies, The Autopsy of Jane Doe. I love that you kind of get to go back into that realm a little bit with the sequence at the funeral home with all the bodies down in the morgue.
Yes, similar stuff. That was a really cool sequence. Putting that real guy in that makeup and having him slowly wake up, and this kind of standoff, and Patrick Wilson's character is injured. Can he get to his wife before this nasty guy gets there? That was really great. That scene right from the start, when we would test the film, it just freaked people out. As soon as they saw that guy move, you could just hear the crowd like in the room. Like, it's a really cool feeling when like stuff is effective and it gets people going right from the start.
Yeah, I love that sequence. I was like, why do they got to have the lights on a timer? Don't ever have lights on a timer. That's always a bad idea.
No. Yeah, you got to set up those ticking clocks, and it makes people get on edge, and yeah, that stuff's fun.
Another, the sequence towards the end too, when they're down in the tunnels and you're dealing with like, doppelgangers of people, and you're in these tight corners and it's like really dark. How was it? What was it like editing that sequence together with all the stuff with, the doubles of Lorraine and Ed, like kind of like, going around with the sledgehammer all crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, Ed is kind of luckily one character in that moment, but the stuff with the multiple Lorraines, they brought in extra people and they dressed them and they choreographed. It was very highly, I guess, calculated. And it was really practiced, that it was all timed out. You're going to move your arm and your leg, and you're going to turn your head, and then you're going to stand, and you're going to turn, and you're going to run. And as the camera swings over, we pick up these other actors who were playing the mirror versions, and then you'll stop and turn again. And it was really elaborate and really fascinating to see that. And like, Michael dreamed up this, because he kind of shot it as a oneer. We used less of it in the final cut, but the initial one, it was so highly choreographed, and they, like, for the most part, I think it was professional dancers, because they're the ones that really know how to move and keep timing, and like they inherently kind of get that stuff. So that's who they were bringing in to do those pieces. Yeah, but it probably looks like visual effects, but it's actually real people that are dressed and mimicking her, like very, very precise.
That's incredibly impressive. I mean, I think it works really well to kind of like, emphasize this whole dreamlike situation that she's in, and I just love all the changes from Lorraine, and then suddenly it's the Satanist lady and she's there and like blowing and smoke in his face, and it's just all really well done, and it's got to be tough to do in such a tight quarters place with little light. I think it came together really well.
Yeah, well, thank you. No, I appreciate that.
So yeah, were there any other like favorite moments that you had while working on the film, or fun anecdotes that you want to share that maybe listeners might not be able to find in all the behind the scenes interviews and stuff?
Well, I'll say the original villain was an evil cowboy. What? And yeah, and the cowboy was controlled by this nun woman who was the daughter of the priest, and he was real to the little boy, I believe David, who in real life had these awful visions and nightmares of this cowboy. But audiences just didn't get it. And it's not that he wasn't scary, but I think when you're in like suburban Connecticut and there's a cowboy terrorizing you and there's really no explanation, it's just really what that kid had in his head. It was just kind of odd. So we kind of abandoned that idea. We felt bad because the actor did such a great job and his makeup was great and his costuming. They brought him back for a scene and they put him in. It's the scene where Arnie is kind of mopping up a room late at night. And then a creepy guy kind of sits up in bed and starts singing the Blondie song.
Oh, yeah.
That's the same actor.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That was a very creepy moment.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember, and our visual effects team built these shirts that had the cowboy kind of silhouette on it. So like I have one of those shirts. It's kind of it's a fun memory of something that used to be in the film.
Oh man, that's awesome. I love hearing, it's interesting to hear that like sometimes the real life thing that happened doesn't quite work for the story you're telling in the film.
Yeah. It's strange when like a real kid was terrorized by this thing and sadly an audience is like, cowboy's kind of weird.
What's going on with this cowboy?
Yeah.
That's so funny. All right. Well, I mean, I don't want to, I know you are a busy man here and I believe you're working on something else. Is there any, can you talk about what you have coming up there, where we can see your work next at all?
Yeah, I have a movie called Primate that just got a release date today. It'll be out January 9th.
Awesome.
I recently also finished the movie The Home, which I teamed up with James DeMonico, who I did The Purge with. It stars Pete Davidson. That just hit theaters. And then right now I'm in the city of Dublin, and I'm doing a film for Universal called Other Mommy. It is based on a book that just released called Incidents Around the House. So you can kind of get a glimpse of the story if you check out Incidents Around the House. But we're having a lot of fun here, and hopefully we'll be scaring some people again in the near future.
Yeah, awesome. Very excited for that one. I love Rob's work so far, so that's exciting.
Yeah, Rob and I did The Boogeyman together, and yeah, now we're doing Other Mommy.
Awesome.
And Jessica Chastain's in it. She's incredible.
Oh man,
like what a luxury to work with her footage.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, that's great. Yeah. I'm glad you've got. Sounds like you got a lot of amazing things coming up, and I'm glad we got to talk to you about The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, and have you back on the podcast. And thanks so much for being here.
Oh yeah, anytime. You guys are great. Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you again to Peter for being here and joining us again on the podcast. It's so great to have him back.
Yes.
To hear his insights on the movie. It was great talking with him, and hopefully we'll get to have him back again. And don't forget to check out those new movies he has coming out soon.
Sweet.
Keep an eye out.
Absolutely.
So one thing, Justin, I wanted to ask you about, and you and Peter didn't talk about this, but so I was like doing other things while watching this movie, and I get to the credits, and I always watch the credits like I always do. But then all of a sudden, I start seeing these giant blocks, and I'm like, wait, what the hell? And I'm like, okay, it's the music credits. But then I start seeing like Nathan Whitehead from The Purge and like all these other like movies. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And I like rolled it back because I was like, what happened here? And like Joseph Bishara is back, credited as having done the score, but there's like 50 other scores. Like,
yeah, there's music from Trial by Fire by Henry Jackman, The Purge.
Even 1917? Like, yep. Which was very recent.
Sicario, Day of the Soldado.
Also very recent.
By Hilder. Yeah, lots of stuff. I think we didn't get totally into it a ton, I guess. There's even some stuff from The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Yeah.
By Christopher Young. We've talked a little bit maybe about Joseph Bishara. We talked a little bit about him in the first one where like clearly... they had to have Mark.
Oh yeah, they had to have Mark Isham bring the family theme, which they have reused every single time.
So I don't know him, personally or anything, but maybe he's got a little bit of a limitation to. He's probably like really awesome nailing the creepy, like horror, silent horror moments where like we just gotta have something really fucking creepy here. Maybe he nails that, but he cannot as easily nail like an action moment or or these emotional beats. We do have the family theme come back again.
I guess so, but it's just so much. Like if you didn't know, it would look like they just they decided to just keep all the temp music.
It is like they might have.
Yeah. It's also possible this was a COVID movie. That,
right. So they were just like, we can't record anything?
That could be too, yeah.
Possible.
But also everyone can score remotely.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know what the heck happened here, but I don't know. As a music supervisor, is this like exciting to you or is this your nightmare?
There's even music from Daredevil.
I know.
It would be a lot to have to clear all that stuff.
Yeah.
For sure. And there's some question of like, obviously like who owns that, and then you have enough budget for all of this. Some of it, might have been in-house films or whatever, but it would be tricky. Ideally, you're not wanting to use a bunch of previous score, because also you got to deal, most likely, depending on where they're recorded and what kind of musicians are recorded with, union recording, use fees and all this stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's all different studios too. It's not like it was all from the library.
Yeah,
like you just said Daredevil, it says courtesy of Walt Disney Studios. Like, it's
so
wild.
you're spending that would have been a hefty amount of your budget there.
Yeah, well, and you already probably spent so much for Elvis and Blondie.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Eddie Money. There's a ton of like big
songs.
So yeah.
I couldn't find anything about why they did that or whatever, but
yeah, I forgot to ask Peter about that.
Whatever.
But yeah, it is crazy. It's just probably a case of maybe they just couldn't get there with Joseph Bashar's work. I don't know.
He just didn't want to have time, and
or maybe they, maybe whatever he records, mostly he does himself, and they needed some bigger orchestral sounds at certain parts, and they just like what you guys were saying with COVID and everything.
Yeah, maybe they couldn't get that.
They couldn't sort out the remote recording or whatever at that time, so who knows?
But it's a lot. It's like 30 movies, like or
Zaslav
something.
didn't want to spring for Zoom Premium, so they can only do 45 minutes at a time.
40 minutes at a time.
Yeah, it is a lot. It is a lot. That would be my guess. Is there some combination of either him not hitting the mark or just not being able to, record that bigger sound at that time? That would be my guess.
And he didn't even get to play a demon.
I know. No demons.
Oh, well.
There's we see a couple like shots of the demon briefly, but otherwise we don't see it, or it looks like the Satanist or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, the lady.
Which actually, well, no, probably not enough of the demon, but still better. Still, they're a better mix of demon than in previous movies.
Yeah. And okay, so you talked a little bit about the hospital or morgue scene or whatever. And this character of this linebacker fat guy comes to life and is attacking Ed and whatnot. But this is like around the same time to me, spoiler, Barbarian and a lot of these other movies where like it felt like for a while every horror movie was like naked, fat, or soggy boobs is the or saggy or soggy.
Saggy boobs.
Saggy old lady boobs, like nudity and fat are the most horrifying, disgusting things that could happen to you in a horror movie situation. It's like, no, forget the demons, forget the aliens, forget everything. The scariest thing is an old lady with saggy boobs, or a fat guy that's naked. It's just like, whoa! Like,
For me, it wasn't even like that he was fat. It's just like this guy was like a huge mass. Like if this guy catches you, you're especially Ed Warren, who's in a dilapidated state. Like, he's not gonna get away. And so like, just that this guy was like a fucking giant stone of a human, you know? Like a boulder of a person.
Yeah.
Not necessarily that he's fat.
I guess, but that there are people watching that are like,
I'm
gross,
sure,
naked
I'm
fatness.
Sure. Yeah.
Like,
I'm sure.
So,
immature people.
Yeah.
The sequence is great though.
Yeah.
Morgue sequence is great.
You heard it in the interview, but I was like, why do you gotta have a light on a timer?
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do that. But
they didn't have motion sensing lights yet, so they had to keep them on.
But I love the whole thing with Lorraine as she's like, experiencing and in the place of the Satanist, and then suddenly she realizes like, oh fuck, the connection goes both ways. Like she can also fuck things up here, and then Ed is like just trying to get her out of there.
My pills.
Yeah. Like overhand. Oh my god. Yeah.
So this does give us a little, so, how they end up at the morgue and they're looking for, where do these totems cross over, and they're solving crimes. And it gives us a little bit of an insight into, if there was ever some HBO Max Warren series of like the Warren Files of what a procedural would look like. Mm-hmm. And I think I see enough of it. I'm like, nah, maybe that's not fun.
Well, it might be fun in a shorter episode.
Yes.
But here it feels disjointed and almost like you have like two different movies happening.
Yes, it turns into like there's a 45-minute episode like nestled between the second and third act of this movie.
This whole detective sequence. Yeah.
Initiate detective mode.
What was I going to say? I don't even remember.
I said initiate detective mode. And
I was gonna say that just this is just something we were talking about the totems, and I was thinking about how the other totem arrives at Ed's place.
Oh yes,
in the flowers, and so it's like now everyone needs to be suspicious of flowers that come if they're like it looks like they've burned to a crisp.
I feel like this happens in a lot of shows and movies though. Like somebody sends a secretly evil gift to the hospital.
The Joker.
Like it's got a bomb in it, or it's got a something. I just watched some movie where somebody was taking a fake gift in and gonna. Maybe it was Daredevil, actually. Yeah. It was Daredevil.
That's
new
the music
Daredevil.
they used.
Yeah. Daredevil was in the hospital, and Kingpin's assistant was like, "I'm gonna take him a present." I feel like this happens so often. No one should just trust any presents, but
it's a beautiful flower that's gonna squirt water in his face.
Yeah, it was just really funny how they like pan over to it. It's just so obvious. And I mean, they have Drew saying the line like, "It looked totally normal when it got here." Like he's like, "I obviously did not accept flowers that looked like that, guys. It wasn't me, okay?" Like,
and I like that they set up the whole flower thing earlier in the film, and they say like, "Oh, look, the Perrin family sent us something."
That was fun.
And I was like, "Ooh, call back to the Perrin family," which was a cute moment. But yeah, I thought that was funny, and it's just like. Yeah, the whole sequence of the flowers, it's like he crushes it, and then instead of like, I don't know, taking it outside and dumping it out, he like drops it and explodes everywhere. And it's like, why do you got to be so dramatic?
Also, I just don't know why, Piper was there at their house. Like, It made no sense. Like, it should have been Judy in all those scenes.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why everything. Yeah, I just don't like how everything's so disconnected. Like Arnie's off in his own place.
I need the Drew Chronicles spinoff.
Yeah,
he's always there with the camera. He always runs away. Calls him from a payphone. Guess what? I just found out. Like he's been doing this now for many years. Good on him.
That's the show. HBO, get us
the Drew Chronicles.
The Drew Chronicles. Getting all the work done.
You never knew the Warrens had an Asian assistant who probably didn't exist in real life.
But he had his own adventures.
Yes,
Here
he
they
did.
are.
He sure did.
Eventually they find this other totem connected to these two girls, and they figure out that, oh my God, the girl actually got it in college. And so, all of these things are happening in this small area around Brookfield or whatever. And so the Satanist must be here somewhere. And Lorraine heard train tracks. She heard a train.
Choo-choo.
She heard a choo-choo train and water. So somewhere there. And then Ed is like, oh, fuck, it's the mill. And of course, Lorraine was already on her way there to ask Father Katzner to read a book for her.
Yep.
Can you read me this book? It looks interesting. And she goes there and he's being creepy immediately. And it turns out he's got a secret love child as a priest.
He's like, I have a daughter cave.
And I guess they lived.
I don't even watch Love Island, and I know. Mamacita.
Mama?
I have a daughter.
Mamacita. Yeah.
Anyways.
I'm a mama. Yeah.
Dude, we should edit. If we had a TikTok, we'd edit John Noble being like, "I have a daughter," and then Lorraine being like, "Mama,
Mama, yeah. Oh my god, so stupid. Yeah, it turns out they had like a lovely idyllic life for a little while, and then she turned evil.
Yeah,
Turned crazy.
I mean, you talked about this earlier, but his whole thing was like, "Oh, I was going so hard into it to protect her, but instead it became like a fascination." And that's exactly what Judy does not do in Annabelle and in the other Conjurings. Yeah. She is pretty grounded. I guess they did an okay job of being like, this shit's not cool. Like, it's bad.
Yeah.
Do we think that Father Useless was also supposed to bless this collection and
Probably.
he also fucked that up?
Well, but this guy was also priest, so he should have been able to bless his own stuff.
Yeah.
But maybe since he had a secret love child, he was no longer like...
He had no longer God powers?
He lost his God powers.
Yeah.
Disconnected from the pulpit. Yeah. So he lets her into the secret tunnels, and I felt bad for him because then he's like, "Dear Lord, don't let me fail in this," and then he immediately gets his throat slit.
Yeah, I'm just happy that as a priest he had relations with an adult woman.
Yeah, that's true. Fair enough.
So love child, fine.
Yeah,
evil or not.
Yeah,
at least it was.
At least it was a consensual, as far as we know, relationship with an adult woman.
So now there's a fight in the daughter cave that has some...
Well, we learned that the only way to break the curse is to destroy the altar.
Yeah.
Destroy the altar.
And, we talked about it a little bit with Peter, this amazing sequence of these doubles of Lorraine and all this stuff going on in those tunnels.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually Ed gets kind of like possessed by the Satanist with some dust.
Yeah.
And he starts to...
hate when dust gets blown in your eyes.
Like, oh, fuck. Yeah. Well, I was like, this is, it's funny because there's weirdly a lot of like retreads of what happened in the last movie.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
The last movie, he got something in his eyes too, but he didn't turn evil. He just couldn't see. But it's like the same type of thing. And and then ultimately,
no, that was just steam that hit him in the face.
Right.
Yeah, this is like
but
very
again,
intentional.
It's like,
He
like
can't see. He doesn't know who's who.
And then ultimately, it is their love that fixes the whole thing.
But you know what?
Remember the gazebo.
If I'm this witch and I know that the only thing that can destroy me is my altar being smashed, why do I even have a sledgehammer in the vicinity? Okay.
That's true.
And then
wasn't it just part of the tools at the barn or whatever?
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then why
She's gonna go remove all sledgehammers.
Yeah, why do I disorient the man holding the sledgehammer? He was already holding it by then.
Yeah.
And then she disorients him. But take the sledgehammer then, or disorient somebody else.
Like, that's a fine weapon for him to have.
Yeah. Oh, hey.
So she has knives. Give him a knife.
I mean, it's literally the only thing that could have destroyed this gigantic stone altar is this sledgehammer.
Like, it's entirely possible that he could have accidentally destroyed it when he couldn't see what was happening.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I have been playing a lot of this new Donkey Kong game where he can literally smash everything, and I was like, Donkey Kong would have no problem with this.
Yeah.
One button. That's all.
You got a Switch too? Yeah. Oh my god.
It is funny. Yeah, it is funny that at the end when he comes to his senses, he is somehow standing right in front of the altar and just turns around and breaks it. And she's not there anywhere to be like, stop it! No, my altar. I just think that was a little bit odd. He just happened to be right there.
Yeah.
Whatever. Altar broken, curse broken.
Then she gets folded into a packing cube and sent straight to hell.
This part was, I like this a lot. She comes at them with a knife and they're like, you fucked up, okay? Demon needs a soul. Guess who's this gonna be? Yeah. And then, it kind of looks like she gets sucked into a black hole.
Yeah,
while standing there.
Shouldn't have left Ed with the hammer.
Yeah. Our love is too strong. Gazebo love. Nobody can stop the Warrens' love.
And the love of the movie.
Yeah. And then we learn that Ed is feeling good enough to rebuild the gazebo himself.
We don't know if he built it. He may have just hired out.
Yo, you think he just had it delivered from Home Depot?
Ed Warren builds gazebos.
He made Drew. He was like, you know what, Arnie, you owe me. Okay, get out here and do this before you go.
Season 1, episode 5, the gazebo bottle episode's incredible.
It's just him like trying to find screws.
Yeah. They called over Michael Cimino, Bob Balls or whatever his name was. Bob got balls or whatever.
No, that's his name? Bob's got balls.
Yeah. I was like, it's something with balls, right? Yeah.
No, Bob's got balls. Yeah.
They hired him to come build it.
Oh man.
Everyone who owes them a life debt.
I know, literally everyone out there. So
so their love prevails, and
then Arnie stays in jail.
Arnie does get convicted, but of manslaughter.
Yes, and only serves 5 years, and they stay together to this day in real life.
Yeah, and the evil Satanist goblet gets added to the collection.
Yeah.
So
next weekend, those teens are going to be drinking from it.
Oh, God, yeah, whatever her name was, Danny and something or other.
Annabelle's Night Out.
Yeah. That's right before the world tour.
That's right.
This is going to ruin the tour.
What tour?
The world tour.
The world tour. I do love, I think some of my favorite parts of these movies are like the end credits where they're like, oh yeah, by the way, some of this was real, and here's the real creepy audio.
Yeah.
And I do like the side-by-side images, so you can be like, oh, that's what the guy had like a crazy afro or something.
Yeah.
Or his hair was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. In the documentary, like the big, reveal is that they now, I think there was like a bunch of brothers who aren't even in the movie of the what's her face and David.
Yeah.
And they now hypothesize that their mom was giving them all like Benadryl every night in their food, so they would like go to sleep. Like it was some other drug but it's like as strong as Benadryl essentially, and like no, it's one of those things nobody takes anymore.
Ace
but, like,
parenting.
I don't know why she. Well, I know that's what I was gonna say. It was no lorazepam, but it was some drug, and they think now that's why David acted like possessed. And then the whole thing with Arnie is just that he was drunk. Is that's what the naysayers say.
Oh.
So
I do like the recording they play is just like the kid saying crazy stuff and the mom being like, "I'm your mother. You stop this right now."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Rah."
And they did it a little bit in the movie, like, but the parents then they get locked upstairs and they're not even there for the exorcism. It's just the two teens.
I do like that. It seemed like we see all this crazy like scratches on their house, and then it seems like then they just got to live in that house with the scratch. Like,
right.
They're like later on, they're still in that house with the scratches.
Yeah.
This house comes pre-scratched.
Yeah, it's just there. It's just there. Oh boy. All right. Rating system?
Yeah. How many bouquet of beautiful flowers with the witch totem add-on?
The witch totem add-on
would you bequeath to The Conjuring? That will maybe do it.
The Conjuring. You know what? I think I'm going to give it 6 get well soon flowers with the witch's curse add-on.
Witch totem add-on.
Witch totem add-on. Yeah, because I think like I said, I feel like I was pretty negative on this the first time I saw it. And I think that, maybe it was like the theater going experience or whatever. I don't know. Like maybe I was in a bad mood or what. I just feel like I initially didn't love it that much. I like it a little bit more on second viewing now. I see what they're trying to do. I just feel like, the elements there didn't quite come together in a way that I think could have worked, well with what they had. Like I said, I like the idea of this like total opposite antagonist for them, but it's like, why not make it even further about her and not have these like layers of deception behind it? I don't know. I think that could have been more interesting. And I just feel like overall some of the scares aren't quite as good this time around. And I don't like that everyone's all, in separate plot lines, basically. Even up until the end, it's like the stuff with Arnie is happening somewhere totally different the entire time. And I just feel like that disconnects our main characters from any emotion of what, like trying to save. It seems more like they're just trying to save themselves than like save Arnie in that moment.
I mean, they were, they gave her the instructions and stuff. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
So not a total loss. And I like it a little bit better than the first time I saw it. So 6.
Yeah, I also like it. I think better than the first time I saw it. I'm gonna give it a little bit higher of a 7. 7 bouquets of rotting flowers with a witch's totem hidden
From
inside.
1-800-Flowers.com.
Yeah, that would have been a great
Try our witch's totem
marketing thing. Like, get the bouquet from The Conjuring. The devil made you buy it. Anyways, so I am pretty sure now, looking back as we've been doing this, that I don't think I had ever seen Annabelle Comes Home before. And so I think with the amount of time that transpired in regular life from Conjuring 2 to this one, I don't think that I was as familiar with it as we obviously are right now, having watched all of them in pretty, quick succession and studying it, obviously, like for our podcast. And so I think this whole series, anytime that the Warrens have been in a entry, it always really rewards loyalty to the series, and they always reference the past ones and have little things, and the more you've seen, the better you are at figuring out the mystery the next time, kind of thing. But then they still find new ways to keep you guessing. Yeah. So I think that's why I enjoyed it a lot more, just because I have a lot more context now. But also in the end, I don't know why, but I just freaking stan this weird old white Christian couple that is these paranormal investigators,
So
because Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga just do such an amazing job of being these characters who are probably nothing like the real people anymore. At this point. It's got to be full creation of them and James Wan. And they're just great. They're just so great. There's
something to be said about one of the paragons of a generation are just two people that face the horrors of the world together.
Yeah, and I mean, even though, I get it's kind of cheesy that it's their love that overcomes everything now twice in a row. I'm still I buy it.
I buy it. Yeah.
They are the greatest couple in the world.
The greatest cinematic couple of all time.
No two people have ever loved each other more than these two people.
It's true. It's true.
Satan's got nothing to go against them. So I don't know.
I think I am also going to give it the number of the beast, 6 bouquets with a witch totem add-on. I think that I agree that I did not enjoy it the time that I saw it, but I think all our brains were just cooked. Yeah. But I think that this is also a compromised movie because of that, and I think that it has all of the ingredients of a dish that I enjoy. I think that it commits no crimes against those things. I think that it is perfectly watchable. It is perfectly something that to go on, and I am actually became more excited for Last Rites after this, because I think that it was hamstrung by the pandemic, and I think that there are a lot of things that do work here, and with a little bit more time and a little bit more focus, I think this movie could have been great. We got a lot of the same folks working on this next one, so where I was not excited because I still had the aftertaste of this movie, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's going to bring us to the end of our review of The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It.
But before we get to watch Last Rites, we have one more stop.
There's one more stop. Just when you thought there were...
None more stops.
None more. I was none more movies. Or that you thought this was the last Nun. No! It's time for The Nun 2! And this one's exciting because on the screenwriting team, we got the screenwriter of Malignant and Megan. So, some pretty exciting stuff.
I don't know, for a joke for here, I was just Pasek and Paul.
Oh, God. When does Malignant come out?
Same year as Devil Made Me Do It.
Okay.
Yeah, Malignant was 2021, yeah.
That I definitely saw in theaters.
So Kelly Cooper did Malignant, then Megan, and then The Nun 2. So.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, I remember The Nun 2 fondly, but we'll see.
Did you even see it, Tyler?
I don't think I ever saw it.
Oh, this is exciting. Okay. All right. I'm excited. It's again directed by Michael Chaves. This takes us to 2023, and then, we'll have The Conjuring after that. But I'm excited to rewatch The Nun 2. I haven't seen it since I saw it in theaters. So, going to be a fun one. And again, a huge thank you to everyone listening, and an even bigger thank you to Peter Gvozdas, editor of The Devil Made Me Do It, for being on here to speak with us a little bit about his work on the film. Always great to have him back, and don't forget to check out stuff like Primate and the other movies that are coming up.
And you can email us your thoughts at sequelrights@gmail.com, or find us on social media and reach out on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Blue Sky.
And rate, review wherever you're listening. Share out episodes that you have seen in the past, and just, keep on loving under the gazebo.
I was like thinking of Death Stranding. Keep on keeping on. So we'll see you guys next time. But, before we go, of course, gotta leave you with that AI generated song. And this one is, all about my favorite moment from the film, which is right here.
I have chicken shit on my hands.
So just enjoy this little ditty about chicken shit. And we'll see you guys next time for The Nun 2.
I woke up this morning, tried to make some toast. Reached for the butter, cause I need it most. Stopped in my tracks, oh Lord, understand. Can't do a damn thing with chicken shit on my hands. Chicken shit on my hands. Can't pick up the phone. Can't drive my truck, gotta leave it alone. Life's on pause, stuck in the barnyard lands. Cause I can't do nothing with chicken shit on my hands. To hug my baby, tell her she's sweet, but she said, boy, don't you dare touch me with them feet. I tried strumming my guitar, couldn't play in the band, cause the strings keep slipping with chicken shit on my hands. Chicken shit on my hands. Can't open a beer, can't write my songs, can't shift my gears. I'm trapped in the coop, oh Lord, understand. I can't do nothing with chicken shit on my hands. Soap and water, scrubbing all day, but that smell's hanging round, it just won't go away. Guess that's the price of raising life on the land. You'll lose all your freedom with chicken shit on your hands. Chicken shit on my hands. Can't shake your paw, can't high five, can't break no law. One day I'll be free, till then I stand a prisoner of poultry with chicken shit on my